So people keep asking me to talk about my current strategy, what I'm doing differently in the last couple of weeks that has made me consistently profitable. And I'm a man of the people, so I'm going to answer those questions and I'm going to explain my whole current strategy that I'm using right now with day trading the small account. So stay tuned. So if you want to learn more about day trading, you want to see live day trading videos, real day trading videos, and I do it all live here every morning, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, leave a comment, ask questions, and I'll help answer those questions and help you as much as I can. But I need your help first, so help me help you. So the first misconception that a lot of people ask me, they say, are you short biased or are you long biased? Well, it's not that I'm long biased or I'm short biased. It's that I'm opportunity biased. If I see a stock that's getting crashed down, it's got bad news, I'm going to short it. If I see a stock that's got really good news, it's going higher and higher and higher, it's squeezing, it's got a lot of volume, I'm going to go long. So recently the market has just been kind of like slow. It's summertime. The small caps really haven't been doing anything crazy. It's been a while since we had like a real crazy runner. It's just been easier to short. And for the last 2-3 weeks now, I've been shorting more and more. And I've actually just been consistently profitable every day, you know, $200, $300, $400. I think I had a couple like $700, $800 days, but really some amazing profits just from shorting. And I'll talk about how I found those stocks, why I shorted those stocks, and just talk about some of the breakdowns on these stocks. So I think a good example would be BW. Shorted this one a couple times the last couple days, and I'll just kind of talk about why I shorted it. So BW had bad news. It jumped down from $10 down here to $6.90. So I'm going to break it down from the start. I'm going to explain the whole strategy, what I do, and how I find these stocks. So the first thing I do is I wake up in the morning. That's an obvious. But what I normally do is I get up around 8:45, maybe 8:30. Because the thing is I feel like if I wake up earlier, I end up trading pre-market more and I get riskier. So the big thing for me is I like to trade from that maybe 9 o'clock. Really the best time is open, but sometimes I trade a little bit earlier. And one of the things that I've noticed while I've been shorting these stocks is even if I short the top pre-market, normally at open we get a little bit of a spike, so I could have got a better entry anyway, so it's just been better for me to wait till open. Sometimes you get those big drops pre-market, but a lot of times you still get a nice range there at pre-market, so it gives me a little bit of time to go short here pre-market. If I see a stock's jumping up, I got time to short it, kind of watching that pre-market high. Check out a couple different websites. The first website I check out is stockmarketwatch.com. I go to pre-market here. I look to see what's gapping down, what's gapping up. You can see the top gaining stock, top losing stock. So I can see right there, BBOX is on there. It already gapped down 26%. So after seeing that gap down, I would go on to my broker, check out BBOX chart. You can see the 5-minute chart. This thing gapped down from 750 down here to 565 there pre-market, and it sold off huge. And basically what I would do from there, just, you know, if I had time, if I really liked the chart, if it looked like it was really bearish, I would then go over to StockTwits, check out the feed there, see what kind of information was on there, see what kind of news was going on, see why the stock dropped down, just to get an idea. Just so I'm like, okay, this stock's got really bad news, it's crashing down, and I'm going to go short here. And basically waiting for open, and I would see this stock jump up there. And really, this stock just crashed basically right at open. And I didn't actually trade this one because it didn't have volume, but I'll give you another stock to give you an example. BW, I traded this one yesterday, and you can see how this one worked out actually. You can see there, pre-market right before open, it jumped up there, 309, double top there. At open, it jumped up to 310, couldn't go higher, had a lot of resistance there, and then crashed down here to the 286 area. And I ended up going short here right below this 306. I wanted to get 305, couldn't get filled there, got 302 instead. And I ended up covering here at 290. You can see later on it ended up squeezing, cut a couple squeezes, and then crashed down at the end of the day. But give you an idea. So you can see the stock pre-market really didn't do much, kind of sold off, it squeezed higher, got stuck there at 292. So, you know, I could have maybe shorted there, but really waiting for that open spike, waiting for some action at open, seeing the volume, seeing where the stock's going to go, and then shorting it there at that kind of high resistance. So if I see that triple top there, give you a good example of why I shorted it there. Another stock I traded this week was, what else did I trade? So I traded FOSL. You can see here on the 5-minute chart, had a double top there at the 910 area. Once I saw that at open, see 910, pre-market high was 927, couldn't get close to that, got 910, double top. Clear example, go short there. So I'm gonna go short there at the double top. I see that resistance there, it's not selling off, it's not going higher, it's got a lot of sellers, and I'm gonna jump in there right at that double top. Maybe, you know, if I can't get in, maybe get in there like 905, right at the $9 area. I think I ended up getting like 902 actually on this trade. And you can see it crashed down here all the way to 837. So had a big sell off there at open. You get that continuation. It gapped down after hours And then pre-market kept selling off. It sold off from 9.35 all the way down here to 8.37. One of the things I find with these shorts is usually here at open, if it doesn't want to run, if it has resistance, if it's getting that resistance there, a lot of sellers, you're going to get that sell-off. Even if it runs up later on the day, right there at open, what happens is people are kind of waiting, they're watching. If it starts to crash, everyone starts selling. It's a panic because they think it's going to go lower and lower, and that's what happens. Until it finds support, it just kind of sells off, you get that crash down. You can usually get, 50, 60, maybe $1 move there, depending on the news, depending on the stock. Some stocks I've seen, $2 or $3 moves just in the first 5 minutes. So really some crazy moves here, shorting these stocks that open, watching for that key resistance. That's the thing. You don't want to short it too early. You don't want to just short it right out of the gate. You really want to wait. Make sure you see some resistance there. Make sure you see some selling. Make sure you see that there's a lot of resistance, on the level 2, looking at level 2 sellers, seeing how many shares are there, making sure there's a lot of pressure, because I don't want to just jump in there and then all of a sudden get squeezed. So I'm looking for those key things. I like stocks with bad news. Like I always say, they're shorting these stocks with bad news. Usually bad news is going to help these stocks go lower and lower. One of the things a lot of people do, they short stocks that have really good news that go higher and higher really fast. They short them, think it's going to crash down. But I don't really like that, because you get a stock that goes up really fast and then all of a sudden you short the top and then it drops and you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, boom, squeezes again, goes higher and higher. Something like this, a stock with bad news, is a lot easier to kind of watch it and get an idea. You get that double top, like, okay, that's a lot of seller pressure there. This is looking good. I'm going to go short. And then, if I'm for my risk for where I would cover at, I would probably cover at, if I got in here at short at 9.10, probably cover there at 9.21, which is like kind of a double top there pre-market. So give me like a 10-cent move there and keeping my tight stop. I'd probably maybe cut a little bit earlier, but I'd kind of watch that 9.20 area as a key area to watch why I would cover there. And you can see how that move worked out there on FOSL. So I've been shorting a lot of different stocks the last couple of weeks, been trading literally for the first 30 minutes, making my goal for the day easily in the first 5 minutes sometimes. Really at open, I can just short a stock, boom, out, and done for the day. So I'm not saying that I'm short biased, but right now it's just the way the market's been working. Hasn't been a lot of follow through. The stocks that have bad news have been crashing down nicely. I like to find stocks that I kind of have a little bit of idea about. A stock like Fossil, it's a watch company. They have bad news. It's retail. It's in that sector where I just know it's not that good. It's going to be crashing down. So it gives you a little bit more confidence when you're making these big trades, going into a 2,000 or 3,000 shares, looking for that move lower. I get in here at 909, get this move down to the 870 area, I think, which is what I got on that FOSL move. That's 30-40 cents with 2,000 shares. Make $600, $800 on that move alone. It's beautiful. So really capitalizing on these quick moves right here at open and just being done. So the same way that these stocks gap up sometimes, you can play it the same way. So if a stock's gapping up, you're looking for those pre-market highs to break. You're looking for pre-market support to hold. Everything I talk about with shorting, I can talk about as well with longing. So if you don't want to short, you can use the same strategy to go long. Go and find stocks that have good news, stocks that want to gap up. But the problem with stocks with good news is I find that stocks with really good news, sometimes the stock goes up, and then all of a sudden starts selling off. And you don't really know why. And it's really hard to predict when a stock's going to sell off. You get a stock with a really crazy big news and it's just going higher and higher and higher. And you don't really know. And you might end up buying in there right before it crashes. The thing with shorting is if I'm going to short here, if I'm going to short these double tops, I know there's a lot of selling pressure there. I know I'm kind of protected. I know, sure, it can squeeze higher, it can go crazy, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm shorting there for a reason because I know there's a lot of pressure there to drop this stock down. So it gives me more of an idea. I've been really consistently profitable the last couple of weeks just because I've been trading this setup. So it's been shorting these double tops at open, shorting double tops on the chart, looking for those double tops, finding stocks that have bad news, stocks that are already sold off big. That's really been working out great for me. Changing my strategy, keeping my consistent profits, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can here. But once I see a difference, once I see my profits start to kind of go down, if I have a hard time, I'm going to change it up, go more long bias. So keeping an eye on those things and just kind of trading what the market gives me. And that's really what it's all about as a day trader, just being versatile, being able to see the different trends, be able to see the different setups like these kind of setups, and being able to trade those setups when they happen. The last couple of weeks, really shorting these stocks at open has been really profitable for me. So hopefully you guys learn a little bit. I know sometimes I just ramble on and on, but hopefully you guys got some kind of information out of this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to answer them to help you guys with shorting or the strategy, talk about it more in the video. If you have specific questions, just leave those comments below.